Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 9 of the URL Sunday Championship, Pro-Am League 1, and we are here at Watkins Glen. It's quite an interesting track. Couple of obviously really big long straights, main one going into the bus stop chicane, and then a very nice technical section down at the bottom there of the track. As you can see, Gower is back and he has put himself on pole position for this race. Let's see, he's starting on the soft, so yeah, he's going for the quickest tyre first. But yeah, good to see Gower back. Dan there in second. He's gone for the mediums. Kenny D in third. Good qualifying there from Kenny D. You see there with the sponsors on the side of his car with the LJ air conditioning. But he's decided to go his normal strat that we've seen him do a couple of times now. So he's starting on the hard tyres. Paulie there in fourth. Oh, a better picture. There you go. Paulie there in fourth on the soft tyres. I think as I went through the league standings, the end of the last race, obviously Dan, I think, is in first. Followed by obviously Gower and then Paulie. I think Gower and Paulie are both very close, 173 and 172. But to bear in mind that Gower has missed a round, so he won't lose anything as such in the dropped round, whereas Paulie's been there every race so far. So he'll lose his lowest scoring points, but obviously gain 5 if he does every race. So it's very close between Dan, Gower and Paulie at the minute, and this is obviously race 9, so one more to go after this race. Brian Mechanic is there in 5th, good qualifying again from Brian. We just need to see him convert. 6th there for Sai, starting on the softs. Nando in 7th on the hards. Hoggy in 8th on the softs. Rossi 9th on the hards, and Brownie there at the back starting on the soft tyres. So good mixture again. Watch out for these soft runners. They're going to be on full attack. I think a little bit of fuel comes into this as well, so we'll have to wait and see how they go with the different strategies, starting on the different tyres. Let's get this race underway. And we're off. So Gower there, taking it up, should be fairly plain and simple. These guys, Kenny D's the first hard, so I might watch from Kenny D's because I think he's going to get mugged again a little bit like he did last race at Spa. But he's doing well. Brian Mechanic put pressure in Paulie. Got a big lag there coming through that turn 2. You've got Brian Mechanic, Paulie, Kenny D here, 3rd, 4th and 5th. The boys in front have pulled out. Brian Rossi looks like he's making a move. He's got Brownie on the back as well. Paulie's still defending. Oh no, sorry, Paulie's overtaken up into 3rd position. Really good move there from Paulie onto the inside. Had the momentum. Brian Mechanic couldn't quite follow him through. You see Dan up front there with a 1 second penalty. Kenny D's doing well to hold on. Brian Mechanic trying to go around the outside now with Sai on the back of this group as well, and Hoggy. Both of these do soft runners. So Sai's going for the inside of Brian Mechanic. Not quite close enough. Again, you don't want to battle too hard. You know it's early doors. You know you're on the soft tyres, so you've got plenty of time. But Brian Mechanic's through up the inside of Kenny D. So now it's Sai's turn to go on the attack. Look like that. Sorry, Paulie's now into 2nd as well. Let's see if I can go back, quickly get that. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, sorry. Dan had his 1 second penalty, didn't he? Dan also on the medium tyres, so that's given Paulie nice clean air now in front of him. As we're back to where we were, we see Bry up the inside, Kenny D there in 5th, Sai 6th, Hoggy 7th. Brownie now up onto the 8th, catching up with this train of cars in front of him. And then you've got the 2 hard runners at the back there, Rossi and Nando's. Nando's dropped a couple of positions, but I think that's only because of no, Bry's gone. Bry's gone. What's going on? Oh, he's just lost it on the hairpin. Yeah, coming out the hairpin. Oh, Oh, glad he ghosted there. A couple of the lads were close, but another week we see Brian Mechanic qualify really well, but just gets caught up on the first couple of laps, and it kind of ruins his race each time. So yeah, Brownie now 7th, Si 6th, Hoggy 5th, Kenny D. So after lap 1, Kenny D's in 4th position, so he's only dropped 1. You see Gal heading up the hill there, turn 3 and 4. Kenny D going slightly wide, and then attack Hoggy up into 4th position. Si going wide there off of turn 1. Brownie stepped out. He's going for the inside on Kenny D, which is done. Kenny D's through safe and sound. So Si's been sort of jostled back a little bit up to 7th position. He's now got Brownie and Hoggy 5th and 6th. Dan still following Paulie just up in front. Gower again on them soft tyres has just checked out. Brownie this time now with the inside line. Coming down to the hill. Hoggy's well defended. He had the inside line so he could take the shortest route around that hairpin. Brownie's still having a look. Yeah, duck bolt to the inside. Can he get it stopped in time? He has done, but Hoggy's got a good run out of that corner. Brownie's going to have the inside for the next corner. But as we've seen, that is a very tricky, it's an awkward bump as Hoggy goes round the outside of Brownie. Really good move there from Hoggy just to keep his position. Brownie had to go narrow, and like I said, it is a very tricky corner. As we see with Brian Mechanic already, it can definitely turn you into a big spin. 48.3 there for Hoggy. Still under attack from Brownie though. The slipstream's going to keep these two together, I think. Si's obviously now past Kenny D also. So Kenny D done really well for the first 2 laps to battle it out with the hard runners, with the soft runners. So he's there. Again, Rossi's doing really well on them hards. I know he's kept out of the battle, but consider he's on the slower tyre. He's not lost that much behind these lot, which pay well for him later on in the race when he switches to his soft or medium compounds. Let's go back up and see how we're getting on. Gal with a 1 second penalty, but he's got time to burn at the minute. Started on the softs again, out front, and he's just pulling the gap. He doesn't want too many more of them though, because they do start to eat into your time. As you see there, just the name Paulie come up over on the screen there, just behind him. Dan still chasing down. He'll be having the slip. Hoggy, Brownie, Si, next 3 coming up. And you've got Kenny D with Rossi following closely behind. Now Rossi's gaining and gaining. Nando not far behind these, and Nando just going wide. Brian the Mechanic unfortunately down in 10th. Have to wait a minute, I think, for the car to get rid of the damage. No doubt he will catch up, I think, to the back of the train. But yeah, obviously it's lost them a massive chunk of time. Let's get back up to where we were, see how we're all getting on. So Hoggy, I think, is slowly catching Dan. Dan's not far off the back of Paulie. And you'll notice as well, and when you've raced in this, the softs are great for these first sort of 4 or 5 laps. Once they get to halfway, you do start to feel them struggle. You really only got about 4 very quick laps out of these softs before the left tyres start to go, mainly the left rear. It's been an MR car. So Paulie there, down a second. Still this little battle with these trio, Hoggy, Brownie, Si. They've left Kenny D for dust now that they all got past him in the end. Great run out of that corner there from Hoggy. Again, good to see him up towards this front end of the track, the pack as well. He's had a couple of bad accidents and odd moments, but really good to see him towards the front, Roadrunner on the front of his Lambo like that. Closely followed still by Browning. Outside with a little twitch coming out of the hairpin. Still good. Oh, it looked like Dan had gone slightly wide then, but he's done alright. He's not come up as yellow, so he didn't lose too much time. So Paulie's got a nice little cushion to Dan. He's so he's not got to watch behind him too much, but there will be a crossover soon if Paulie stays out on these softs. Yeah, there will be a crossover where their mediums just start to give Dan a bit better grip than what the softs are giving Paulie. They can see Gower up in front. Any little mistakes, he's gonna, as I say, slowly work his way back towards these. But all racing really well at the minute. Still the same. These sight is dropping off the back of Brownie on these last 2 laps. All doing well for fuel. Doing Kenny D and Rossi. So Rossi's caught up onto the back of Kenny D. He's going to be in his slipstream. Slightly less fuel than what Kenny D has. But on them hard tyres, Rossi's doing 48s. So very, very good. Very good pace there from Rossi on the hard tyres. Kenny D, as you can see his lap times, they are getting quicker. As them hards definitely start to warm up. Let's see, is Kenny D, I think he's 3/4 shifting. So he's going to go for maybe a little bit more of a longer stint than what Brian is. Oh, Brian just rubbing up against that barrier, stayed running along the grass. Left a big tyre track all the way through that grass section. Done really well to keep it going though. See, I think Brian, Rossi's revving the Lambo out. So he's on his own strategy. Let's go back up to where we were. See if anything else has changed. I don't think it is. Actually, how far? So Nando's at the back there. So yeah, Brian, I thought I saw something happen. So Brian and Mechanics had enough of these. Lap 6, got rid of the softs. I'm guessing full tank. He could do it if he could do it if he can get some good lap times in. It's always, I think, with certain tracks like this, having clean air around you is massive. You can just run your own race and not get in too many battles and cause yourself obviously to have moments as Brian did on lap 2. Stay away from that yellow line because very easy to get a pit lane penalty on this track. Both the entrance and the exit of the pit lane is a little bit tricky, but Brian's done that very well. He's out on his hard tyres. Gower, man in front, lap 6. Look at them softs. Absolutely eaten. So he's got the fuel, but I don't know how many more laps he's going to want to do on these soft tyres. As I said, definitely the corners like this that are really going to suffer as the tyre wear starts to go on them. You compare that to what Dan's got, who I've completely missed. I'm really sorry, but yeah, Dan's in the 2nd position. I completely missed that. I'm guessing what's Paulie done, a 49.7. So he's had a little bit of a trouble somewhere, and that's given Dan 2nd place. Sorry for missing that. I was obviously going through the backfield. I see Rossi's got past Kenny D as well also now. But yeah, so Dan at 2nd, medium's looking lovely. Softs are beaten. Hoggy with a bit better tyre wear than what Paulie's got. He's got better tyre wear than what Brownie's got, and Sai. So he's got some good advantage on the others around him at the minute. A bit more tyre grip. So as we see, Kenny D's fallen behind Rossi now. 7th and 8th. But again, like I said, if you look at the fuel difference, so Rossi's getting down to about nearly the quarter of a tank. Kenny D is just like below half a tank, so he's going to have a couple of extra laps, if not one, maybe 2 extra laps on Rossi. And we'll see how we go. Let's go back up to where we were. You see, Foggy was on the charge running towards Paulie. Might see some of these in on this lap. I think Gower might definitely be coming in. Like I said, he's got the fuel, but his tyres look a bit worse for wear. So he's past. Yeah, Gower into the pits. Paulie's into the pits. Hoggy's going again. Brownie's going again as well. So he feels like they've got the tyre wear. Definitely Hoggy has. He's got not bad. That back left is battered. Brownie's back left also. Side, but they've all stayed out. These 2 hard runners I'm expecting to stay out. So Gower's in, refueled. First pit stop done. He'll be wanting to come out into some clean air, hopefully, as we see him come out on the hards. It stays to the right, but you don't need to risk it. But he's gone hards, whereas Paulie's out, but he's on the mediums. So let's see what Paulie can do now. I think we're going to have a couple more laps with Dan leading the pack. He's still not a million miles away, so he drops a little bit off the back of these, but you can still see him. And he's doing well for his fuel, but definitely Hoggy's the one with better fuel rate than Brownie. So if they pitted at the same time, both refilled, Hoggy's going to grab a little bit of a jump on Brownie in the pits. Brownie just deciding to stay behind Hoggy. A little bit of a power slide since that's that back left tyre going. Stick with these, see if they're going to go in the pits. Oh, big power slide from Brownie. Well caught. Brilliant driving from Brownie there. Brilliant to catch that slide. Yeah, so Hoggy's in the pits. Brownie's in the pits. Si's in the pits. Careful, Si. You were close to that line then. So these 3 soft runners are all in the pits together. You see Hoggy 21%. Si 20%, Brownie 14%, so he could miss out on a position in the pits. But yeah, Rossi doing well. Yeah, Kennedy's got plenty of fuel. He's behind Rossi, but he's fuel saving. I think so. Dan, by the look of it as well, he's doing really well to fuel save. You see now Hoggy's on his way out. Paulie's past, I believe. Gower's well past. There we see Paulie. Here comes Hoggy out of the pits onto the hard tyres. Brown is out next. Sife's closely behind. I believe all of them were free. Yeah, no pit lane entry penalties. Well done to them 3. Because it is a pain in the ass. So, after pit stops, Gower running 5th, Paulie 6th, Hoggy 7th, Brownie 8th, Si 9th, and Brian the Mechanic in 10th position, getting his hard stops out of the way. I think Dan's still going, what, we lap 9. Yeah, he's got plenty of juice on them tyres. He's going to go good. Maybe 1 more lap, maybe 2 laps. I think he might have enough for 2 if he's fuel saved enough. See, Rossi's not though. I think he's going to have to maybe take the bounce now. Yeah, he's staying to the right hand side. Stay inside that line, Rossi. Well done. But yep, that's giving Kenny D back to 2nd. Yeah, Rossi didn't quite have enough to do another lap. 9 laps isn't bad. As he see him do his pit stop. Nando's there coming around. He's going to stay in third position. Gower's on his way past. Paul is on his way past. You see Rossi's just left his pit box now. I don't think he's going to be close enough to do anything about these three. But we'll see. Size there. Where's Rossi? You can just see him taking turn one. So Rossi on the mediums now. So he has got Size on the mediums, Brownie's on the hards, and Hoggy's on the hards. So you'd like to think that Sai and Rossi might catch up with these two, especially if they start getting into each other again, getting all touchy-feely. Then, yeah, Sai and Rossi are definitely going to want to be joining the party. So I've got this. It's hard. There's no split times. It's so annoying. But Gower running in fourth, three in front of him, haven't pitted. You know, Nando's not that far in front of Gower, so he's he obviously feels safe from him. Kenny D and Dan are still staying out. By the look of it, Dan's got enough to do this 11th lap. Kenny D's definitely got enough to do this 11th lap. So we'll see how these lot get on. Yeah, Nando's doing. Yeah, he's going to go 11. Fair play to them. So them three all making the tank last 11. Everyone else is already pitted. Definitely with the soft runners, you see how quick them softs went. What did they last? 6, maybe 7 laps if you're careful with them on the warm up. But that's about all they've got for you. Go back down. I don't think there's too many battles. This group still is the closest. Brownie having a little look, but not really close enough to do anything about it. So I think he's slowly catching the boys in front. It's hard to tell what to do. 47.6, 48.9, 49.3. So yeah, Sai is catching these two. Just needs to keep plugging away at them lap times. I think there's about a big slide from Brownie there as he took a big chunk of the curb. I think there's about a second per lap difference between each tyre compound. So softs, I think you'll be looking sort of maybe 46s for race pace. Mediums, you should be looking maybe 47s, and then 48s for hards. You just see Dan coming into the pits there. So yeah, there's about a second difference. You can definitely see Size catching Brownie now. It's visibly a lot closer. It might start making Brownie panic a little bit. You can see he's quite close behind Hoggy, so he can't relax. You see Kenny D's also into the pits. Oh, Nando's going to get panicked for that. We see Nando come in, which is going to promote Gower back to first place. Paulie's there on the fight down behind him. Again, Paulie should be setting slightly quicker times as you see Dan coming out of the pits. So Gower's gone past. Where's Paulie? There he is. So Dan's on the hard tyres. Paulie's going to try and go around the outside. Well done for Paulie. So in that pit stop, it's jumped Paulie back up into second position again using them medium tyres. So well done there to Paulie. He just needs to try and stretch the gap now for later on when he has to change over onto the hard compound. So you want to make a nice gap because you're going to have Dan definitely coming back at him. Gower there was getting his hard stint out of the way. Brownie's now still on the back, as I said though. Size caught up with these two. He's harassing Brownie. He wants this position. You go on board with him. Brownie a little bit laggy. Oh, Brownie one way, then the other way, switching back Oh, side just missed him, I think. Just got into the outside of him. Side's all he's got the grip, isn't he? You can see he's got so much grip compared to Brownie and Hoggy. Watch your braking now. Brownie's weaving all over the place. All side, a little bit of grass on the left-hand side. Great run for Si. What's Brownie doing? He just takes the middle of the track. Again, look, there's no effort to get past. He's forcing Brownie out wide. Brownie's managed to keep it going on the outside. You see Hoggy's pulling away now. I think this is what Brownie was worried about. Si would start putting him under pressure. Oh, he's touched the wall. Come on, Si, it's your opportunity, mate. You got it. Yeah, as you see him going past Brownie. Si needs to just get good run. Oh, hopefully that's not a penalty. He's one of them. Thank you for that. Brilliant racing and then stupid ass game. So unlucky for Si, but he does need to concentrate. It's not until towards the end of this lap. So he needs to make a nice little gap now between him and Brownie. He's got the tyres. You see how much more grip he had coming out of the corners. Even through that little bus stop section there, he's gained on Brownie. Si needs to get a move on now. Get right up behind Hoggy. Use his slipstream into the braking zone. Into the penalty zone, sorry. Let's see how he gets out of this hairpin corner at the bottom of the hill. He's off. Serves his half-second penalty, so he's going to drop from Hoggy. Is Brownie close enough? I don't think he is. He thinks about it. He feints out. Oh, Si's missed the apex. It's given Brownie a massive chunk of time back on him again. Whilst all these boys are fighting, as I said, also on the mediums there is Rossi and Kenny D. So these two are also charging down. So again, Brownie doesn't want to mess about too much with Si. You've got to think long game on the endurance races. What's important at the time? Is it defending? Is it just letting the man go? Is it slipstreaming for a bit of extra fuel? There's plenty of different things you need to think about in the endurance races. It's not just stick your foot down. It's not always the quickest strategy. So back to where we were. Let's go back to the top. So Gower's still there in first. Hard tyres doing okay for him. He's in the 48s. He had 147 there on the hards, which is a really quick time. But yeah, he's firmly in the 48s on them hards. You see there, Paulie mediums, very, very low 48s, 47s. You've got Dan just behind Paulie. He's staying with him. He's doing obviously 48s. Them hards are getting warm now, so he's done a couple of laps. They're definitely going to be. They definitely get quicker as you go. And then they sort of stable off for quite a big chunk of their lifespan. But as long as Dan can stay in the slipstream, there's no reason why he can't gain the time back when the tyres come later on the next pit stop and they switch over. So Hoggy in fourth. Now Si's up on the back of him. Again, just take your time now, Si. Brownie's dropped off the back of these on his hard tyres. Hoggy slightly wide. Si going to get a good run out of this corner as he did on Brownie. Is he close enough? He's looking, but I don't think he is. Oh, what's going on with... Something's gone on with Si then. He hit the pause button or something. Something had happened. He was right on the back of Hoggy. You see the hazards come on and he's dropped sort of a couple of seconds now. Brownie's right up behind him. Brownie now trying to go for the outside. This is dodgy into the bus stop. You've got to be careful. Sai just dropped out of it, let Brownie go. Brownie's through, Sai's through, although it be very wide. Whilst he's doing that, he's now got Rossi and Kenny D chasing him down. So not sure what happened there to Sai. He was in a very good position, and then yeah, just something like I said, pause menu or done something, or maybe something disconnected quickly. But that's cost him. So Hoggy again, free. Had a couple of battles, defends really well, and yeah, just running his own thing, doing a brilliant job in 4th position. Here we go back up to here. So the mediums are getting there. You know, they're halfway down, but Dan's clinging on to the back of Paulie. Definitely the bits of slipstream, although Dan just dinked the wall then, coming off the final turn. But Dan doing the cling on to Paul, not letting him escape. I think if Paulie could break that slipstream, he would he'd be able to benefit from the gap and the difference between the mediums and the hards. But as you can tell, he's down to quarter fuel, halfway on his tyres. Dan's half a tank. Oh, and Dan's going up the inside. Oh, big jump off the curb there for Dan. As he's done Paulie going up the straight to the bus stop chicane. I wonder if Paulie's decided he's going to fuel save. He's figured something out, and he's gone, oh shit, I need some extra fuel, because he seemed to slow right down there. Yeah, he's half shifting now. So Paul decided, right, I need a little bit more fuel to do maybe an extra lap on these medium tyres. You probably watched Dan. I think he's been fuel saving the whole time. So he's going 3/4. So that's the difference in where you're gear shifting. And then obviously, I think Dan's been doing that the whole time. So that's why he's got half a tank over Paulie's quarter of a tank. Hoggy's on just less than quarter of a tank also on his hard tyres. Let's see now. Sai's got half a second penalty. Big slide from him, slide from Brownie as well. So Sai obviously recruit, got back up past Brownie. He's now got half a second penalty. Brownie in 6th. Rossi and Kenny D have joined the party. They've brought their poppers with them, and they're ready to get amongst it. Rossi there in the Golf. Liveried's Lambo. Kenny D in the Hulk green. Brownie's had a bit of a twitch coming out of the first corner. Rossi's made his way through. I think Kenny D might also, depending on which side maybe Rossi goes. So Rossi's the inside, so the slip's going to help. If Kenny D can stay in the slip of Rossi, which he has, well, he's had to defend against Brownie. So really good racing there. Brownie's just had to back out of it. He can't compete with these two medium tyres. The grip levels that we've seen already is a big difference on the exit. Slipstream will make a big deal. As I said earlier, before Dan got past Paulie with fuel saving, you know, he just managed to stay in the slipstream, and it just helps pull you along. So Rossi now 6th, Kenny D 7th, Sai half a second penalty. We'll see if that affects him. Is Rossi going to be close enough? Sai stays on the inside to try and defend. Rossi's not quite close enough. He goes for the lunge around the outside. He keeps it on, but it might have compromised him now with Kenny D, which it has done. Unlucky there for Bry. He tried to the momentum. No, Sai's gone. Sai's gone for a big old spin. Oh, guys, Brownie's gone as well. Let's go back and watch this. What's going on here? So you see Sai comes around the corner. Too much gas. He's gone. And then Brownie, poor old Brownie, he's decided to follow him as well. And yeah, he's gone for a big old spin. Where are they both? So they've got going. Yeah, both got going again. These two, it's not happening for him. Look, by the look of it, Si was on his way into the pits. Is he not? Right, he's decided to stay out. I think he might have. Oh, something's going on with Si. As we see earlier, something's not right. I don't know if it's his wheel or what's going on, but I don't think he's going to have enough fuel to finish that lap. So we get back to where we were. So Hoggy again, nice clean air. Kenny D, I think in all that confusion, got past Rossi. Oh no, sorry, we see it, didn't we? Yeah, Rossi made a lunge on Si. Very bold move around the outside, didn't quite work out for him, and that gave Kenny D to take the normal line and carry his speed through the corner. How are they doing for fuel? Kenny D just under half. Yeah, so Rossi's got a lot less fuel than Kenny D. We saw Kenny D pit on lap 11, didn't we? So a couple more laps maybe for Rossi. We'll see how they get on. I think they're fairly spread out again. Gower now, lap 18, into the pits. Done well, stay away from the yellow line. So Gower's now in for his last pit stop, get rid of them hard tyres. And he's going to be on to the mediums. Promotes down into first. Paulie's also pitted from their mediums. So now he'll be now switching to his hard tyres. As I said, they take a couple of laps to get going, that's for sure. Hoggy's also in off of them hard tyres. Rossi's gone through, Kenny D's through second, third. Dan's doing really well there. This is going to be the interesting part now. This last strategy works its way out. So he's got medium tyres on. No! The penalty, you see it. You see him, that's the problem. Drifting that slightly bit left is cost him 3 seconds. Paulie manages to stay out of the way. Hoggy's also. Ooh, this could be interesting. This could be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Poor old Gower. Tiny little bit of lapse in concentration has cost him 3 seconds there. I don't know how far behind Dan was, but it's definitely gonna make him a hell of a lot closer than what he was. As you see Gower now coming up to the penalty line. I think most people, Nando hasn't pitted yet. You see from the track map at the top right, it's all spread out a little bit now. So these 3 seconds are really going to hurt Gower. They're really going to hurt him. Or if Nando goes past him as well, this could cost him even more time. Although Nando's obviously on warm mediums, he's still got another bit to go. So that's going to put more pressure on Gower now because he's got a man to get past. Sometimes hopefully don't distract you. Big slide from Gower as well. Them hard tyres are not enjoying, the medium tyres are not enjoying the old warm-up at the minute from Gower. They're being punished. Rossi's into the pits also. Get off of them mediums. He's going to be switching now to his hard tyres. Watching Gower, still following Nando. Well in the slipstream. Nando goes to defend. Not sure if it's defence or just kind of let him get on his way. Probably, Nando probably knows that he's not fighting with Gower, so there's no point in putting up too much of a scrap with him. He knows that he's just come out the pits as a fresh tyres and he's on his way. So here we see. So yeah, Hoggy's out. There he is. No, Rossi's got a 3 second penalty. We've seen it bite 2 of them now. And both in good positions as well. Because Hoggy's up in front on the mediums, which take a minute to warm up. Rossi on the softs, he would be out the pace straight away. Brownlee there down in 8th position. Brian and Mechanic there in 9th. Sight right at the back on them hards. I don't think he made the pits on the. No, you see Dan coming around. He must have lapped him. Yeah, he definitely didn't make that last lap. He didn't have enough fuel, 100%. Let's see how we're going. So Paulie's done. He's on his final tyres. Nando's still got to pit yet. Gower's pitted already. So this is his final tyres, the mediums. Kenny D's still going. Lovely little bit of fuel and nice tyre wear. So Dan as well. So this might be Dan's last lap. I think Kenny D's probably got 2 laps of that fuel tank. So he's going to go 11-11 and then 6 proper quick laps on the softs. So he's going to be definitely be a threat towards the end of this race when he switches to them soft tyres. Just watch Dan as he comes round. I don't think there's any other battles at the minute, so we'll just watch the leader. Done well. I think he got he was chasing Paulie down, who Paulie then all of a sudden just had to start doing a bit of fuel saving just to have enough fuel to do his strategy. And that gave Dan perfect opportunity to get past him. And you can see his fuel gauge is flashing at him now. Good lap times on them hards, all 48s. So he's kept his Lambo going. Just follow him round, and then we'll flick to where Gower is. I think Kenny D's going to go another lap, and we'll see where he ends up. So yeah, he's into the pits. No pit lane penalty entry anyway for Dan, but we can see, as you've seen, the exit is just as bad as the entrance. So let's see where we are. So Gower just coming up round to the I don't know what the corners are called, if there is any names. I haven't looked, so I apologise. Coming up to the fast left, turn 13, 14, and then obviously onto the last corner. Dan is out onto his soft tyres. He's going to have 6 laps. How's he fueled? 64%. Yeah, should possibly enough. And there's Gower. You can see him. He knows he's there now. Watch that line. Watch the line. Well done, Dan. So Kenny D now in first. Gower in second on his warmer mediums, but these softs have some pace about them. As I said, they're a second a lap quicker than the mediums. He's probably only 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds behind Gower. So it's definitely doable. See there, Nando doing really well on his mediums, yet to make his final pit stop. He's done some proper good fuel saving. Nando, I think between Nando and Kenny D. Yeah, they're the 2 lads that have gone 11-11-6. So we'll see how well Kenny D comes out of the when he comes out of the pits. As we see all season, though, Gower's no slouch. He's not slow on. Dan's going to have to proper work it if he wants to catch Gower, albeit on the better tyre compound. But yeah, you're going to have to give it some beans. Be interesting to see where Kenny D comes out in between Paulie and Dan, maybe. As we see him coming into the pits. He's kept his pace going. And not far behind, so you've got Hoggy there in 6th, Rossi in 7th, Brownie in 8th, Brian and Mechanic in 9th. Should have enough to get him to the end now. And Sai there in 10th. Let's see where he comes out. Stands round. Gower's round. Here comes Paulie. Down the home straight, you just see Kenny D on his way out the pits. So again, he can see Paulie also, and he's got them soft tyres on. So he's going to be hunting down Paulie for third position. Dan's going to be hunting down Gower for pole position. See Nando on his way out. Where's Rossi? Yeah, Rossi's long gone. Here comes Nando out onto the soft tyres. Yeah, and he's going to be a nice little gap there in front of Brownie as he comes down to turn 1. So Nando's up into the 7th position on the super soft stickies, and as long as he stays off the grass, he'll do him well. Rossi's got a long way to go on them softs. I think he pitted and he had sort of 9 laps maybe to go on them, so he's going to be well within the red, I think, towards the end. Let's get back to our little battles coming up in here and seeing how we're getting on. We're going to have to look at lap times, aren't we? Paul's tards are going to be okay now. They're going to have a little bit of grip about them, and he'll be wary that he's going to have Kenny D behind him, who's on technically tyres that are about 2 seconds a lap quicker. Technically, you've obviously still got to make that pace, but Kenny D is on the complete opposite end of the grip range to what Paulie is. I'm keeping an eye on these two a bit more closer in grip levels. You see Dan though was 46.2, quickest lap so far. The new quickest lap, should I say. What did Gower do? 46.7. So only half a second difference between the two of them. Big old skip off the curb there from Gower. Keeps a great average speed through the bus stop chicane and off onto this big long right. That long right hander absolutely murders your tyres if you push it too hard. If you can get it hooked on the inside curb, you can accelerate really early. It just pulls the car lovely round the corner. But because there's a little bit of adverse camber, if you get over that lip, it just absolutely kills the tyres. Yeah, Dan's still chasing down Gower. Here we are, look, Kenny D's right on the back of Paulie now. Going for the inside, down towards the hairpin corner, bottom of the hill. He's made it stick. He should have the grip level out the corner as well, which he has. So Kenny D now puts himself third step of the podium. Could it be another week with him on the podium? Or wait and see. 5 laps left to go. Hoggy in 5th on the mediums. How far away are they? They're not too far away. As I said, it's about a second a lap, so depending on what happens, both have got plenty of fuel. Sorry if I keep flicking, but both have got plenty of fuel. They'll be fine. Rossi's on the soft tyres, but he does need to think about it because he's still got 5 laps to go. And as we see, the softs only lasted about 7. So yeah, he's going to have to watch it towards the end. Try not to push them soft tyres too much. Otherwise, Nando's going to capitalise then on the slow couple of laps that Rossi's got to do with no tyre wear. Fastest lap there for Nando, personal best, 47.2. Go back down, sorry. You see Brownie now on his mediums in 8th. Had a really good start to the race. Good battles with everyone. I think when obviously Sai lost it, Brownie's done the thing that I think all of us have done. For some reason, you just follow the person in front of you, and if they start to spin, you start to spin, and it's like magic. Sometimes you think, I've done that corner 20 times already, no problems. The one time someone spins in front of you is the same time that you spin. You lose the plot. And unfortunately that's happened to Brownie and put him down there in 8th. Exact same corner Bry had the problem early doors as well. Lonely race again for Bry. but he has managed to get himself back to 9th. And Sai again, really brilliant start to the race. Just unfortunate he had that big spin, and then I think with that, trying to recover, he just completely lost how much fuel he had left. I'm pretty sure he done a lap on his with no fuel, so it's a little bit annoying. So, oh, Dan's in first. What's going on? What's going on now? Gower's doing fine. No issues. Oh, did he hit the bus stop? Oh, big power slide. Can't quite hold it. Nearly held it. Oh, no. No. He's dropped the bobble and it's smashed on the floor. Wow, Gower. He's got damage now as well, but that's gifted Dan the lead. It didn't look like he was catching him very quickly at all. Maybe half a second lap, if that. Gower, just that Lambo, as we've seen many times this season, just biting back at Gower, saying, "Oh, you're pushing me too much. I'm going to snap at you." And it did that probably on the quickest corner on this track, through the bus stop chicane, where you're trusting the car is going to grip as you bounce over the curbs. Unfortunately, they didn't for Gower. How far ahead is he? Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, he should be okay. Kenny D's again, like I said, on the softs, pulled a nice chunk away from Paulie, which we expected. As I said, being about 2 seconds a lap quicker. His last lap is 0.1 off of Dan's quickest lap, so he's definitely flying at it. You can see Gower up the road. If another mistake like that from Gower, and that's going to drop him even further. As I said as well, points, Dan is leading the table at the minute. He does have a drop round on Gower, so he's going to lose some points, but another win is going to cement him towards the top of this league. Paulie's down there in 4th, so he possibly, I don't know, I'll have to check the tables once they're released, how close they're all going to be. But I think it will be a case if Paulie finishes 4th here, it's going to be a big battle then, I think, between Dan and Gower, possibly on the last race, looking at obviously points gained, points lost, the drop round that Dan's going to have to do. So yeah, Paulie might be cementing himself into 3rd in the table, which is again no mean feat. That's excellent. Finished 3rd in this Pro-Am League 1. Some really good drivers in here. There've been some good battles throughout the season, really. Can't complain. Hoggy in 5th. Really happy for Hoggy. I hope he gets this 5th position. He's a brilliant driver. You watch him. He's very solid driving. Hoggy is. Does really well at defending, which has helped him, I think, quite a few times this season. But there he's in 5th. Or Rossi's had a spin, so that's now put Nando into 6th position. Told ya, look at that rear left, absolutely bitten. I think one more corner and it's going to be fully red, and it will be trying to drive like that. There you go, that tyre's gone. Watch out. Oh, glad he ghosted then, as Brownie went flying around the rear of him. But it's going to be murder now for Rossi to get that Lambo all the way home. He's got another lap to do. Plenty of fuel, but them tyres, that they're gone. Look, nothing on that rear left now. Every single corner, every corner like this one coming up. See, twitching, got no grip. Bye-bye. That is what it's like driving with no tyre wear. It is horrible. But we are on to the final now, final lap. We go back up. Nando now into 6th. Really good racing from Nando. Just kept himself out of everything, innit? Just plugged away. Same as Hoggy. Good defending. Put himself in 6th and 5th. As I said, don't think. Yeah, so Dan is coming up through this troublesome corner that we've had loads of issues with tonight. But round onto the last 2 corners here for Dan. Danny Beans taking it nice and easy. Yeah, no need to push. Congratulations to Dan on the race win. Really well done. I said it's gonna nothing but help him in the battle he has with Gower, who's going to be kicking himself a little bit. One mistake this whole race has cost him, but a good 2nd position. And then Kenny D there in 3rd position. Let's see. I don't like the spinning on the line because it produces yellow flags and it's not fair on other people. But Paulie there in 4th. Here comes Hoggy there in 5th position. Real good position there for Hoggy. Happy for him. Nando coming home in 6th. As you can see, it still comes up with the yellow flags even though the cars have gone. So I don't like spinning on the line because if you've got a battle, you're not supposed to overtake on yellow flags and it costs people positions. So Brownie there in 7th. Brian the Mechanic into 8th position. I think we've got enough time for these. Let's have a lonely, lonely race. Lonely, lonely, I'm so lonely. Come on, Brian. We want to see you put it on the podium, mate. We want to see it up. You've got the pace. We want to see you on the podium, Brian. Sai coming home in 9th position. Again, yellow flags are still flashing. And you see Rossi there, who's had to pit. Come home in 10th. Well, very interesting race. A couple of good battles early on between the group of 3 we had. But yeah, fantastic race for Dan. Done really well. Didn't put a foot wrong, and that's got him the win. I think Gower again had managed to get out in front, do his thing. 2 little mistakes from Gower though. Is the pressure getting to him? Maybe he's had the pit lane entry penalty, and then obviously the big slide we see at the bus stop. So it's definitely going to be an interesting race. Next week we are at Le Sarthe. And yeah, it's an interesting track. No bump drafting is allowed. So it's going to be interesting, yeah. And we'll see how we get on. Thanks again for watching. Catch you all later.